and this is about a store.
In my Victoria, I think.
And in Morning guys, today we are at Sovereign Hill in Ballarat and we're just about to head in and have a look around for the day. This is the entranceway up here, Dave's up here. I just had a quick look in the gift shop. And we're also coming back tonight to see the Aura Spectacular. It's a sound and light show.
It's like we've stepped back in time. £2 to go to Geelong, an hour away. £2 to Melbourne.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Farrell and Son.
Got some sheep's brains here as well if you wanted them. No, they make you smarter. Everyone needs more brains.
How big is a sheep's brain?
Well, about that big.
Oh, there must be about 10 or 15.
This is one of the little miners' huts. If we'll go inside, we'll have a bit of a look and see what's in here.
Come inside, come inside. And stand out in the cold.
Hey mate, how are you?
It's just as cold in here, but never mind. I'm well, thank you, and you?
Good, thanks. And so this is one of the little huts from back in the day, is it?
This is the equivalent of 5-star accommodation on the goldfield.
5-star?
Nice.
Well, compared to a tent. Yes, the people who had these were finding gold, had found gold and were quite prepared to stay. They'd be probably waiting for a house to be built up in the better part of town so they could live there. If you found 1,000 ounces of gold, that was quite common. You're looking at $1 million in today's value.
Jesus.
So
So they were pretty rich back then, some of them.
some were. Out of 100%, 5% found fabulous wealth.
Yep.
45% would be like this guy, and the other 50% would have to find work.
Yeah, right.
Are you friends with the trooper?
No.
Are you discreet?
Yes. A bit of grog.
So I'm just minding Polly's tent for her. She sells soups, meals and other drinks.
Right.
And kissed his ruby lips and chin. Then they went to bed again, and soon he gained her favour. Then she blessed the rainy night, cold, low in the rainy night. Then she blessed the rainy night, that ever she let him in. Oh, now you've had your way with me, oh soldier, won't you marry me? No, my love, it never can be, so fare ye well forever. Then she cursed the rainy night, cold, low in the rainy night. Then she cursed the rainy night, that ever she let him in. Oh.
So the Gold Commissioner is representative of the Crown on the diggings. He is the most important person on the goldfields. Mounted on horseback, he often rides out into the diggings to settle disputes which arise as a result of claim jumping and boundary trespass. He issues licences to tax faulters and guards the fees which have been collected. He also guards and makes arrangements for the transportation of gold from the diggings to Melbourne. So this is his little office. At the back here, bedroom. Pretty cool. Pretty cold actually.
So, good morning folks, my name is Constable Lancaster and I'm a mounted trooper here in Ballarat. Now Ballarat is the Wadawurrung term for resting place, and for most of the time here, Ballarat was a nice, quiet and peaceful resting place. Until 1851. Do we all know what happened here in 1851? What are we all here to see? Gold. Gold. So all of a sudden this nice, quiet and peaceful resting place became a huge bustling hive of activity. Thousands upon thousands of people from all over the world came here to try and find their fortune. Now during this time, we had a police force of 40 men. That was the entire police force for the colony of Victoria. And these men were paid £22.5 a year, which was absolutely nothing. So as soon as gold was discovered, every single one of those 40 police officers handed in his notice, and he came here to try and find gold. So, not exactly the greatest basis for a police force. And when the police started here in Ballarat, there was a lot of problems. There was a lot of thievery, there was a lot of drunkenness, there was a lot of fighting. It was mostly the police who were doing it all. So the government had to come up with a way of getting the police to do their job. And they came up with this very clever idea called finable offences. So that is, you commit a crime, you're then arrested for that crime, you're then fined for that crime, and the police officer who arrested you, he gets half of that fine. Sound like a good idea to get the police to do their job? No. Thank you very much, sir. So that is a miner's licence. Every man over the age of 12 here on the goldfields looking for gold has to have that piece of paper. Ladies, you're all right. It's assumed that your husband would have one. But for every man over the age of 12 here on the goldfields looking for gold, you've got to have that piece of paper. It is £2 for a 3-month licence. Give you some idea, £1 is worth about $2,000 in today's money. So that was $4,000 every 3 months before you'd even started looking for gold. But if you do not have that piece of paper, it is a £5 fine. Police officer who catches you, he gets half of that. That's £2.5. We do the maths, 9 times 2.5, I've made my yearly wage, haven't I? That's made out of paper. Not unheard of around here for the police to take that, tear it in half, chuck it down a mine shaft, just to make it disappear, just so we can lock you up, just so we can get the £5 fine. It was all incredibly corrupt, and it all came to a head here in Ballarat, 3rd of December 1854, what we call the Battle of the Eureka Stockade. This is where I come to my first piece of equipment. This is what I call my small child attitude adjuster. What is this? It's not a sword, this is in fact a sabre. Now the difference between a sword and a sabre is, a sword is sharp on both sides. Sabre sharp on one side, blunt on the other. This section of the weapon here is called the pommel. Have we all heard the phrase to give somebody good pummeling before? Yeah. This is where it comes from. He gets...
This is a post office. This post office, it is still a functional post office where you can come to buy some postcards and deliver to your friends and family. And
I was beginning to wonder why the birds had lost their tune. You require my attention, madam.
Well, sir, if such a title can be placed on so base a creature as you, I merely wish to know how you found it acceptable, gentlemanly behaviour to be at my table, drinking my sherry and port one moment, and then slander my name in your petty paper. Is this how you repay my kindness to you?
You ought not say such things in a public place, ma'am.
Oh, ought I not?
Especially coming from one who is well known for her loose morals.
Careful now.
And might I add, her even looser fitting undergarments.
How dare you?
I stand by every word that I wrote in the Times newspaper. This is an honest, God-fearing community. We are good family men.
How dare you insult me? Sir, I am a fine, upstanding woman. I am beloved by all who know me, and I will not stand to be insulted by a gnat such as you.
No going up. My mother, she told me never to strike a lady.
Right.
But lucky for me, this is no lady.
Come on, Seacam. Move along.
Now, the melting temperature of gold is 1064 degrees Celsius. Today, I will bring my gold up to 1200 degrees Celsius. They'll give me approximately 15 seconds to get it from this furnace to the mould that will be on the table before it starts to turn into a solid. Are you ready to see some gold?
Why do you do it on the sand?
Well, you'll learn that in just 1 second. It's a pretty cool fact, actually. So just wait for it to become solid. I'll tap it out, and I'll answer your question. Alright, so gold is an excellent conductor of heat. If it can give its heat, it will get heat. Sitting on the sand there, it dropped from 1200 degrees to approximately 900 degrees. And that's because the sand wanted to take the heat from the gold. So it absorbed all that. However, sitting on the tin here, the tin does not want to take the heat from the gold. So it just simply won't. And it'll sit there until it cools down in about 3-4 hours. Another really interesting thing about gold is it does not radiate heat. So it is 900 degrees Celsius right now. I get this wooden stick, I pop it right next to it for as long as I'd like, and then I can touch my face with it. Now the reason for that, it doesn't radiate. But if I touch it, because it is so hot, the wood just can't handle the heat. So it will just combust instantly.
So we're going down to do a bit of a mine tour, and this is about a story about an accident that happened in the mine, and it's one of the most tragic events that have happened in gold mining history. So we'll see what's down here and find out what it's all about.
Anyone hear me? Anyone hear me?
Shh! Everyone, hey, no! Listen. What? The surface. This way.
No, this way. That's heading back down the drive. I think we can get out this way. No. That way's blocked. We're trapped.
So what we have here is 5 pounds of glucose, 5 pounds of water, and 15 pounds of sugar. So this has been boiling for about an hour, and I'm just waiting for it to come to around about 157 degrees. So there's a couple of ways to tell if it's ready or not. I look at the way the bubbles are moving, the colour of the toffee. We're looking for a honey straw sort of colour. I could use a temperature thermometer, but I don't have one, so I can't do that. I use the time. I know it takes about an hour. And then the other way, I'm going to show you because it does look good, is called a cold water crack test. So I simply drizzle the hot toffee into the cold water, and then you'll see when I carefully take it out, so that toffee pretty much sets straight away as soon as it hit that cold water. So this is similar to what you see on your things for cake decorations and stuff like that. From there, I can bite into it. So if it sticks to my teeth, I know that it's underboiled and it needs a little bit more time. And if it tastes bitter and really nasty, I know then that it's burnt and we can't use it. But I can also, can hear the crack? It's a good crack there, so I'm happy that that's ready. So just a nice ladleful. And today I'm making our ginger drops. So they're a medicinal lolly for an upset stomach or something like that. And we sell these ones down at the apothecaries. You should be able to smell this shortly. What we have is 8.5 kilos of toffee sitting at around about 157 degrees. So you'll see with the toffee on the table, we've got this skin that forms underneath it. The skin I can touch quite safely without burning myself. If I touch any of that liquid toffee at all, it's an instant burn before I can even get water onto it. So I do need to be really careful. Now, as I said, this lolly does not have colour in it, so it's basically just sugar, water, glucose, and flavour. And our story begins back in 1857 with John Brown. He was a pastry chef by trade, so part of that trade is you make confectionery on the side, like I showed you before with that bit of toffee I was walking around with. He was living over in England with his wife and young son Thomas. When his son reached around about the age of 5, he became really unwell with a respiratory disease, and it was recommended by doctors that they move to a warmer climate. So from there, they pack everything up and move from sunny England to sunny Victoria. They moved to Denali, which is about 100 kilometres from here, just outside of Bendigo. The original plan was, John was a pastry chef by trade, so the original plan was to open a bakery. They decided there were enough bakeries in town, that wasn't going to be the business for him and his family, and he decided to go down the confectionery route, which was obviously a good decision because it's still running today. Now, this is ready to go through the rollers. All right, I want to introduce you to my friend Joel. He's been very busy out the back today, jarring up those raspberry drops. And you're doing some bagging now, aren't you? Yeah. And he's come to give me a hand with the rolling. So this rolling machine came over with John Brown in 1857. It was second-hand when he purchased it, so it's over 175 years old. And it still works perfectly today. We did, however, need to change something on it. So if you have a look at our rollers here, nice gold colour. They're not made out of gold, are they, Joel? No. What are they made out of? Brass. They're made out of brass, which is a nice, safe product to use. If you have a
So this is the lolly shop. And apparently they still make them traditionally.
What's your favourite?
Toffee apple, I know.
Dave loves his toffee apple.
And I'm getting one before I leave.
Mm-hmm.
They must be like toffee frogs or something.
I'll just have the little umbrella pop where Dave will have the toffee apple.
So this is what the old post office used to look like, is it?
Yeah, it's a little bit like this, sir, yes. It was a busy place, the post office. And all service was from the window, hence you standing there peering in.
Yeah, right.
So the postmaster's residence is open via the back door too, so you can come inside the home at the back.
All right. Cheers, we'll go and have a look. Thank you.
gentlemen, children and all, I would like to take this opportunity to point out to you that the men and I standing before you are wearing the uniform of Her Majesty's 40th 2nd Somersetshire Regiment of Foot. This particular regiment was formed in Nova Scotia, Canada in the year 1717 under the command of Colonel Richard Phillips. Apart from these garrison duties, we have taken part in gold escort duties. Gold worth more than £53 million has been transferred from Ballarat to Melbourne town by the 40th Regiment. Now I will tell you that the noise emanating from these here rifles is very voluminous in nature. So, it is instructed that you take your digits and place them firmly in your auricular orifices. Take your fingers and stick them in your ears, it's going to be very loud. Stick your fingers in your ears. I am not kidding. Squad, prepare to fire in series from the left. Port arms. Present. Arm. Number 1. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. Shoulder arm.
So we're just coming into the blacksmith, who's working away over here. Good mate, what are you making there?
Fire poker.
Fire poker.
There's a few steps involved. Just drawing a point and then it'll end up looking like the one on the front handle there.
Yeah, a bit of twisting. Yeah, what does it heat up to?
This metal will melt around 1200 degrees Celsius.
And how long does it take you to make a poker?
15 to 20 minutes to do the handle. 5 or so minutes to do one of these. It helps if you're doing like a production run of them. So you can sort of do 10 of them or so. Well, of the points you can do about 10 in an hour, give or take, but there's always interruptions and different things. So it's hard to know exactly.
And by banging it with the hammer at the moment, what are you actually doing with it? Are you shaping it or are you...
Tapering it into a point. So once the point's tapered, you can just gently round it off. And then with the remainder of this heat, I'm going to put it in the Pritchell hole, that round hole there, and fold it over on itself, which you may or may not be able to see depending on where you're standing. And then this gets welded together. Traditionally it would be a forge weld. And then it gets tapered out into another point at the end here, which is ends up producing that sort of typical fire poker shape that most people would associate. So it ends up looking something like this. It's the finished product of one of those things.
Go and have a look inside the bakery. It's open from 9:30 till 4:30. Pies, pasties, tasty biscuits, small cakes and a variety of fancy bread. Sausage rolls, beef pies, meat pasties, veggie pasties and flavoured pies. Oh, smell that. Smells nice, eh?
Today's special.
Today's special beef, Vegemite and cheese pie. $8. So your little cookies.
Well, no, and there's no room, so that's fine. Okay, cool.
If there's room at the back,
Ballarat Times.
anybody knows any horse thieves or highway robbers, we can get their names on posters for you. And we can look after the posters until later in the day to save carrying them around. But this printing press was built in London in 1857. Okay, ink all over those letters. Made sure there's no ink where there should not be ink. Got to make sure it's in the right place. Something to print on. Some packing over the top of that, make sure it stays nice and still and hopefully helps me get an even press. Under there, when I pull this lever, plate drops down just a little bit, puts over 100 pounds of pressure onto the paper. And Jason's been causing trouble in the hotel.
That's cool. Wholesale and family grocers, Clark Brothers. See the coffee greens in there.
They used a lot of coffee on the diggings because Queen Victoria put a big tax on digging on coffee. Also the miners went 16 hours a day. Well, it was pictured, as I said. But one of the main benefits was it covered the smell of illegal booze being sold down at the diggings. So it was a big hit.
Yeah, right. Oh, I smell it. Oh, geez.
We sell this coffee too.
Yeah, right. I wonder why they made the wheel so big, like not a small wheel.
So a small child could do it.
Okay.
Digging clogs in here and they'd just be doing that all day.
Yeah, right.
About 10 years old, do it from break of dawn until like 12 o'clock at night, 7 days a week, including Sundays.
Go and check out the bank. $500 reward for the apprehension of Frederick Verne. Man by the name of Verne has unlawfully, rebelliously and traitorously levied and arrayed armed men at Ballarat in the colony of Victoria with the view of making war against our sovereign lady, the Queen. Scales for weighing the gold. The welcome nugget. World's second largest nugget, weighed 2,217 ounces and it was valued at £8,868 back in 1858.
United States Hotel, Superior Ales, Wines and Spirits. Let's have a look. Oh, that's not even serving. It's closed. Bugger.
Yeah, it's closed at the moment.
Oh, the old Victoria Theatre. Through to the dining room. It's closed. Oh, it says closed on it.
One aim for the Chinese is to come here, grab as much gold as they can, sir, and spend the profits in their own country.
You beings do just the same, no one condemns them to doing so.
Sir, you have failed in your duty to control the Chinese hordes.
So when you found some gold and you want to come and dress up, this is the place to come to. The old fire brigade. Let's go and have a bit of a look. All their hoses and axes. Empire Bowling Saloon.
Welcome to have a go at bowling if you like. The instructions are just there in blackboard. Afternoon.
Bowl with two hands.
Bowl with two hands.
She's a wooden bowling ball. There you have it. I got 4. I'm just standing back up for Roz. Righto, you got to beat 4. It's going to be a gutter ball. Look at the what? People panning for gold. Apparently each day they put $400 worth of gold flakes in here, and people are going to find them. So this is Chinatown. They have a little river running through their little place, but we're going to have a bit of a squeeze. So there you have it, Sovereign Hill. Well worth a visit, and you can spend the whole entire day here. We came in at like 10 o'clock. It's now 3:30, and there's still more we could go and have a look at, but I think we might head back to the caravan and recharge, ready for tonight. What do you think of the place, Rose?
Very interesting. I think it'll be a lot more interesting for schools and kids learning the history of the gold era and things like that.
Billy, the kind-hearted boy, and Jimmy, who's recently taken a break and intends his young life to enjoy.
So I really hope you enjoyed that look back through time.
Would have been pretty cool living back in those days. I actually quite often ask Roz, hey Roz, if you lived back in them days, what would you have been? You know what she tells me? She goes, I'd have been the madam of the brothel. I went, oh yeah, right, sure you would have. I said, sure you wouldn't have been a worker? And she goes, no, I would never have done that. I would have owned the place. Anyway, it's that time again, joke time with Dave. And I just happened to be watching the news. Roz, pan over there. Going on in the world today, there's been an IVF bungle. Wrong embryo implanted in a clinic mix-up. So basically what's happened is somebody had an embryo implanted in them that wasn't theirs. So it made me start thinking. Now, Mr. and Mrs. Wong have a baby boy. The nurse brings out a white baby. Mr. Wong is very confused. He goes, 2 Wongs don't make a white. They then name the baby Something Wong. Catches?